Sharks versus Bulls, one of the biggest South African derbies you get. I'd say probably the second biggest after Stormers versus Bulls, but wow, it lived up to the hype. But there was also such a weird game. There were so many knock-ons, there was so many handling areas, there were so many mistakes, but it almost made it a better game to watch. I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one. Normally when that happens, you just switch off the TV and walk away. But this one made it a bit more exciting. I mean, some massive individual performances as well, but being a guy from Durban, I know how wet that ball can be, and it is wet. It is almost like playing in the rain. It's literally like playing in the rain, but on a warm day where everything is sweaty as well. So it's even harder it's like playing with a bar of soap. So I can't even imagine being a backline player, like a scrum off or a fly off, having to give pinpoint passes the whole time, because I know how it feels with a ball like that. You almost, if you try pass too hard or too far, it's like the ball just doesn't want to go there and it just slips out of your hand. So I know exactly how it feels. So I understand the handling errors, but at this level, they definitely should be better with that. They definitely should be. I mean, I'll be honest, I've seen high school games in Durban have better performances like that with the ball in hand than these two teams did, but the game was still phenomenal to watch. I mean, it was still entertaining. I mean, some massive individual performances. If you think the likes of Andreas Tazen, 13 carries, Jean-De Rudolph, 9 carries, Ethan Hooker, 8 carries. That just shows that centre pair for the Sharks that JB Peterson is sticking with is the right centre pair to go with. They are dominant. They are getting the go-forward ball for the Sharks, really laying the platform for them, and just putting in the work that they need to. I mean, two not very flashy centres. They can be flashy when they want to be, but they can also get stuck in and get the job done if need be. Just a big shout out to Jean-De Rudolph, a guy that's been really standing out for me for the Bulls from that Bordeaux game as well. I don't know how they take him out the team. He's been probably the best forward in their pack besides Volkulo over the last few weeks. And I mean, that's saying something. He's been phenomenal. He's been absolutely phenomenal. He's been one of the best forwards in the tournament. So really big shout out to him, a guy that played for the Cheetahs for many seasons. Didn't get recognized as much at the Cheetahs, but that's kind of something you expect because they don't really play in all these tournaments like this. But he's been phenomenal ever since making the change to the Bulls in the Currie Cup season. So it's very good to see him there. He earns it. He's earned it. He is phenomenal. Tackles completed. Jean-De Rudolph again, 14. Just shows. I mean, a lot of turnovers lost. I mean, Edolf and Amarva, Mapimpi, and Pepsi Buthelezi, all 3 turnovers, but they are in positions where it's a bit more tougher for them to catch the ball as well. They get put maybe in tougher spots. So, I mean, that ball is very slippery, so I completely understand where they came from that perspective. But yeah, Sharks getting the win in what was a very, very tight game. I mean, very, very tight game. If you just go through the events of what happened in the game, nothing in the first 10 minutes of the game, 0-0. Wasn't really expected. It was a bit more of a lower scoring game than I thought, but then I thought about the conditions and I thought, okay, it makes sense. Hakeem Kunene with a big interception. Really, really weird pass from the Bulls player there. Kunene snatching it up, going all the way, nearly getting caught by Sebastian de Klerk. He is so fast, but Kunene still had the wheels to get there. Wasn't surprised he got there in the end. Converted by Jordan Hendrickson in the 15th minute to make it 7-0. Now, this is where the game swung a bit. At this point, I thought, okay, the Sharks definitely are in control of this game right now. If they just keep this up, maybe build on this lead, then they could maybe go into the sunset in this game and win it easily. No. The Bulls decided Pollard penalty again in the 23rd minute, Creel yellow card, but then Pollard penalty again, and right after halftime, another Pollard penalty. So Bulls in the lead 12-7 just through the Sharks' mistakes and discipline. Not a single try scored by the Bulls, yet they seemed the much more dominant team in that position, and they seemed in a much better confident position going into the rest of the game. At that point, when the Bulls were up 12-7, the Bulls were dominating the Sharks scrum. I thought, okay, well, it's game over for the Sharks now. They literally can't do anything. They're sitting ducks in the scrum, line out time, don't know what's going to happen there. Bulls are just going to maul over. But that's where some other stats come into play. I mean, the Bulls had a really, really terrible line-out percentage. I'm trying to find it here. Line-out win, only 78%, one of their line-outs. That's not good for the Bulls. If you think of a Bulls team, you really think of really good set piece, really solid in all departments. If you think back to like the Matt Field days with the Bulls, they're going to play a typical Springbok game. They're going to scrum, they're going to get the penalty, they're going to kick for the corner, they have an amazing line-out, they're going to maul you over, they're going to build their lead like that, and then the finishers are going to do what they do best. But it just didn't happen for them. They just didn't score. They didn't find a way to score. And it almost seemed like they were so close to scoring multiple times, especially before the half. So, yeah, Bulls will be very disappointed. And they're going to look back at that one and they're going to go back to the drawing board for that one because with a pack like that, they're going to have to be much more clinical in the line out time, much more clinical at finishing off these tries, and the backline's going to have to find some spark somewhere. From a personal perspective, I honestly believe that the centre pairing the Bulls should be going with is David Creel and Stedman Gans. I think Stedman Gans needs to be in this team. I remember when the Bulls were playing their best rugby, it was coming from David Creel and Stedman Gans. Right now in the backline, there's nothing happening. There's nothing happening. If you think of the players they have, Ambrose Papier can make something happen out of nothing. Andre Pollard probably doesn't make something happen out of nothing, but he's solid with the boot and he's a key guy in that backline. Harold Foster doesn't really make something happen with the ball in hand. David Creel does. If you move him to 12, he's comfortable there as well. Put Stedman Gans, who can make something out of nothing, then you have a bit more excitement in the back line. Something can happen. I mean, if you think of the likes of Willie LaRue, he can make something happen, but he doesn't have the speed now to break the line and go score by himself. A guy like Stedman Gans can. Stravino Jacobs as well, he can, but he needs to be put in those positions. You can't just give him the ball with 5 defenders in front of him every time and say, okay, hopefully you go do something. Same with Sebastian de Klerk. Neither of the wings got space yesterday. That's also the Sharks doing very well in defense, but it's just the Bulls having a lack of imagination, a lack of being able to convert their skills into anything, which is disappointing to see. I was really going into the season really looking forward to seeing the Bulls playing the running rugby they did last year. I mean, seeing the likes of Stedman Gans, Sebastian de Klerk, all these players playing so well last year, I just thought they could maybe do that again this year. That's why I really want to see the likes of Cheswell Ewers get some more game time as well. So yeah, Bulls maybe have a bit of selection problems right now. They maybe need to change a bit of the selections, maybe to just get the best out of the team, because right now it just seems like they're expecting things to come a bit too easily. I mean, it looks like it because Volkelo and Gerard Steenkamp are putting in a massive shift at the scrum, but if the other guys can't do their job, then the Bulls won't be winning games. So you can't really fault the likes of a Gerard Steenkamp or a Volkelo. They did everything they could for the Bulls to win this game comfortably. I really think if we put those two on the Sharks side and they had a dominant scrum like that, the Sharks would have won by quite a lot of points, because with a set piece like that, it changes the entire game. So yeah, Bulls have a lot to work on. But then obviously after the 56th minute when the Bulls were winning, in the 70th minute, Sia Khaleesi with a massive score. He's been phenomenal for the Sharks every time he plays. I know a lot of people don't rate him very highly, but he's such a game-changing player. He scores those tries when he needs to. He's such a dominant figure. He always makes either a big carry or a big tackle when he needs it most. And he's one of those guys that always sways the momentum of the game. He always does. I can think to many different games he's done it. First of all, against England at Twickenham 2 years back, or a year back now, big tackle on Ben Earl from the line out. Big tackle on Maury Itoje, double hit with Jasper Wiese, changing the momentum of the game, getting the Springboks in that physical mentality. The England team was literally dominating the Springboks on the line. Then Sia Khaleesi went, did those two things, the game swung completely. The Ireland game at Loftus 2 years ago, or a year ago, massive carry over the centre from Ireland, and look, it literally could change the mindset for the Springboks completely. He even gave the try assist to Curtly Orense. So people that say Sia Khaleesi isn't good, look again, look at what he does. He doesn't play like a Skogberg, he doesn't play like a Jasper Wiese. He plays a different game. He's good with the ball in hand. He's a very good ball carrier. He's almost like an extra backline player sometimes with the skill set he has. So he's a very important player for the Sharks and the Springboks, and he showed it once again. George Whitehead getting the conversion at 71. Van der Merwe with an incredible try set up by Jaden Hendrickse, who I thought finally showed what he can do this season. He had a very good impact off the bench. Some very good plays, some key game-changing moments. I still don't think he should start. I think Grant Williams did very well with the ball he had. I think Grant Williams had a good game. But Jaden Hendrickse came on, made a big impact. A few try assists, really changed the game. So that was a very good try assist. Edward van der Merwe with the pace, showing why he is one of the best wings in the world. Not just South Africa, in the world, he's one of the best. He showed why. And yeah, George Whitehead getting the conversion. I don't think George Whitehead knows how to miss a kick. I just don't think he knows how to miss a kick. He has been such a good signing in the last 2 games for the Sharks. And I really think he just needs to be in the 23 every single weekend. And I think JB Peterson's starting to realise that. Having a cool, calm guy like that, who maybe won't do too much flashy stuff, but can if he needs to. I mean, with the chip kicks and stuff, he can do a lot of flashy stuff if he needs to, but can just get the guys going over the advantage line, can kick for post nearly at 90%, which you need from a kicker at that level. Very good kicker, very good player, very good game winner, very good management he has. So, very good signing for the Sharks. And I mean, the Sharks ended up winning the game 21-12, looking like they were not going to be near winning this game, looking like, great, it's going to be another loss for the Sharks. It's going to be disappointing with all the knock-ons. No. Good win for the Sharks. finally stuck it out, showed some grit against a very tough Bulls team that had some very good players as well. I mean, this is going to be big mentally for them. It's going to be very big, and now they can build on this going forward. They have a game against the Lions next week, which I think will be an interesting one. I think the Lions are not a bad team at all. I think it's going to be a very tough game, and I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I'm looking forward to both the South African derbies. Stormers versus Bulls as well. Going to be a huge game. Massive game. Bulls trying to get that win, desperate for a win, and Stormers desperate to keep their unbeaten streak alive. So that's going to be awesome as well. And then you have the likes of Ruan Venter versus Asiya Khaleesi next week. Mono van der Berg versus Grant Williams. You have some incredible matchups next week. Kelly Mpeku versus Mapimpi next week. That's going to be awesome. So yeah, just looking at some of the stats from the game. Scrums won 100% for the Sharks, 90% for the Bulls. Obviously, that was a penalty that went against them. Lineouts won 91% for the Sharks, only 78% for the Bulls. Really worrying, really worrying. Restarts received 1%. So the amount of restarts that a team received of kickoff that they won, Bulls only 67%. That's a worrying stat for the Bulls. 67% only. You could only win 67% of the restarts. Yeah, that just goes a long way. I mean, passes, Sharks 132, Bulls 91, just showing that the Sharks tried a bit more maybe had a bit more possession. Ball carries, 95 of Sharks to 68 to the Bulls. Post-contact meters, not too much difference, 204 to the Sharks, 170 to the Bulls. To be fair, that kind of looks better in the Bulls' favour, considering they had 40 less carries and they were able to make nearly the same amount of post-contact meters. Turnovers lost. I can give you a second to guess how much, and you probably won't guess. Sharks turnovers lost 20. Bulls turnovers lost 14. 34 turnovers lost in this game. Yeah, I mean, that just tells it all. 34 turnovers lost in this game. Wow. But yeah, that just shows exactly what happened. I mean, penalties conceded, Sharks 13, Bulls 8. That's also incredibly high. Tackles made, 75 for the Sharks, 103 made for the Bulls, but they both missed 13, so it just shows the Bulls missed a lot more tackles relative to how many tackles they had to make. The Sharks missed more tackles relative to how many tackles they had to make. And yeah, the stats don't really tell the whole story, but it's important to put them there because, I mean, like if you look at the restart percentage, post-contact meters, line-out win rates, it just shows turnovers conceded. The Bulls had a chance to win this game, but they definitely were their own worst enemy. I mean, with a line-up percentage like that, you're not going to go very far, especially if you're trying to kick the ball close to the 5-meter line to try to win the game, to try to score. So, yeah. But nonetheless, a good South African derby. Really good win for the Sharks. JP Peterson will be very happy. He stuck with some of the same combinations, played some young forwards as well, especially in the front row who did well. The reserve hooker, Edwin Swart for the Sharks, also really impressed me. Mdanda really impressed me. They all impressed me. Obviously, they got dominated a bit by Volkulo and Gerasienkamp, but that's going to happen. And they'll get experience and they'll go forward and they'll get better. So yeah, really good. JP Peterson will be happy. I know Sharks fans, we are happy. I am a Sharks fan. I'm not going to be biased about it because I want to see the Bulls do well as well. But yeah, very good game. Too many handling errors, but still very entertaining. And looking forward to next week, guys. And I will see you then. Thanks so much for all the support. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. I've only been doing this for a few weeks, so please help the channel grow, guys. Thank you.